What's up, guys? It is Miles at Miles of Color, everywhere online, and I'm stoked to be here. Today is a kind of different sort of video. If you don't know me, I'm a photographer slash digital artist slash influencer slash YouTuber person. A lot of commas there. And I'm making this video about social media and how likes have affected me and how I'm seeing them affect my friends and how I've kind of recovered, or at least found some sort of middle ground in my emotions around social media and not letting it get to me too bad. So a little backstory. I've been on social media, ever since it came out, ever since MySpace. Like, I'm a millennial, so yeah, I've been on it. And as soon as I got involved in Instagram, like heavily using the app, it's because I started photography, and I obviously posted like photos on Instagram. And likes were a huge deal for me kind of right off the bat. It was something that I really pushed myself to get and to, always perform my best at. And it was something that I think, it helped me shape my work in a way, because I learned what people liked and I learned what people didn't like, especially because they didn't like it. So yeah, I have this sort of relationship tied in with my actual career of being a photographer, specifically someone who posts on Instagram for money sometimes and gets all of my work off of Instagram. There was a lot of value tied up in my work equating to being good if I get likes. And like I said, that wasn't the worst thing in the world, because it did help me in a lot of ways in figuring out, what content performed well. I already said that. But after a while, once I got really involved in the community and just really, had a lot of friends in the community, things got a little messy for me mentally, because maybe you guys can relate to this, but I started comparing myself all the time to all of my friends who were maybe getting more likes than me, or growing faster than me, or grew way past me. And I was like, dang, whatever they're doing is working, and that's awesome, but what's wrong with my work? I would always bring it back to myself, and that's super selfish, but I think we all do that. I don't think it's a very unique thing of me to think that way. And it wasn't even like a conscious thought. It was very subconscious. It was very much just me being like, just like kind of sad sometimes, or maybe just finding myself like getting a little upset when I would see their posts. I'd be stoked for them, but I'd also be kind of upset. And what I had to realize was that feeling, that negative feeling, it was entirely me. It wasn't anything they're doing. They're killing it. And I should be happy for them, because later on that year, so this whole me getting depressed about likes was a thing where I stopped growing for like 6 months. I was at 30K on Instagram, which is a great amount of followers. That's a huge amount of people. But I was sad because I wasn't growing, and I was getting less and less likes on every post. I was like, shit, like maybe I'm bad. Like maybe this whole Instagram thing is over for me. And then as soon as I kind of stopped caring, things picked up again. And I started getting really creative with my work and making really creative stuff and work that I was really proud of. And I got featured on this account, and I went from 30K to 100K in a matter of like a month or 2 months, I think. And that was insane. And everything I was posting during that time was, really creative stuff that I really loved and I was proud of. And it's because I had that like momentum behind me that everything I was doing was, working. And that's really dangerous, because I don't think if I was getting likes at that time, I would have made the art at that quality at that time either. Like the growth really kind of pushed me to put out the best work that I could, instead of me just doing that from the get-go. I mean, I did do that when I, wasn't getting a lot of likes, but the following growing and all the likes growing, like I went from getting 3,000 likes to 10,000 to 20,000 likes in a matter of a few days, once I got back to being creative, and that was crazy. And I started growing. I was like, what's going on? What is this? And it's awesome, because that's probably how you know about me. Like, that's probably where you guys found my page, because there's, 100,000 more, I think 30,000 more people than I had last year on my page right now, which is crazy. Because I've even been sad about not growing much recently, but I haven't been, never mind. I'll get into that in a second. Anyways, so the comparison trap is shitty. I've been there. That's what I'm trying to get to. And recently I've been spending a lot of time with friends who are in the community of Instagram creatives and social media creatives, and just, I guess, creatives in general. And I'm always hearing people say stuff like, man, the algorithm sucks, or I think I'm shadow banned, or I'm not getting good engagement anymore, but other people are. And like, it's just something that I hear a lot from everybody, from, small creators to big creators, to people who are super new, to people who've been here for a long time on social media. And it's sad. It really is sad, because this device, like, is the source of us feeling like our work is good or not. And to take that even further, if you're not a photographer or something, if you stumbled upon this video and you're watching and you're, kind of curious as to what I'm talking about, even just, maybe your friends get a few hundred likes on their selfies, and maybe you get 5 to 10 likes on anything you post, and you're like, fuck, like, am I that ugly? Like, what's going on? And I feel you there, because it's really easy to compare yourself to other people. But here's what I know. If you really push hard on Instagram, if you're really trying, and I believe this for any app at this point, the algorithm will eventually flip its switch on for you, and you will be taken on a wild ride of great engagement, growing a following, and having likes and your DMs full, and a ton of story views, and all these things on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or whatever your social media platform is. TikTok, follow me at Miles of Color. That shit's fun. And yeah, dude, it's just, the algorithm will treat you well eventually if you push, and if you're trying, and if you're working hard. It will happen, because it's happened for me, and it's happened for all of my friends at one point. Everyone pops off for a while, and then the algorithm's like, oh, you haven't posted in a week? Boom, out. Oh, you're using the same hashtags? Boom, out. Or on YouTube, it's like, oh, like, you were demonetized twice because there was a music in the back of your video, out of the algorithm, or whatever. Like, that's just how this shit works. The algorithms are not people. It's very smart for an algorithm, but it's not perfect. And, it sucks that we are at the mercy of a computer for the most part. For lack of better terms, I don't know what I'm talking about. And just the matter of the fact is, like, I know that you probably have been affected by this, because I know I have, and I know my friends have, because I hear it all the time, and it sucks, dude. A member of the community recently died. I don't know how. I heard it was possibly suicide, but I don't know anyone in his inner circle to kind of talk to and figure that out. But his name was Grant Huntington, and I'd like to say rest in peace. Very sad to lose you in the community. I don't know if this ties into, like depression or anything, but the fact is that, life is finite. And it just sucks that we waste so much time caring about likes and shit, regardless of how he passed away. It just reminds me, we have this beautiful and amazing community, and I think all of us are so caught up in competition of, talking shit and trying to be the best and trying to get the most likes and all these things that, I really wish we focused primarily just as people on each other. And I don't know what happened with him. And if someone ever does commit suicide in your life, it's not on you ever to to save that person. Like, of course, help and be there for those people, but it's not on you. If you know someone who's committed suicide, little side tangent, just wanted to throw that one out there because even last year I was in a really dark place because I felt like invisible from my account just kind of plummeting, and I went through a breakup, and I didn't have money, and I just felt so lost and so worthless that I really got to a dark place. And I think you guys know what I mean by that. But I'm here, and I'm now, and I've pushed past that. And the fact that, social media and this world can get so to your head is fucking scary. So taking steps back from that, I figured some ways that have helped me cope with social media and try to just be more healthy in my approach with it. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk to you about your options here. So how to cope. A is to stop comparing yourself. That is really fucking hard to do because that's just kind of what we do as humans. We just look at what someone else is doing and we think, oh, well, I'm doing this. And then we make our own assessment of who's doing something more worthwhile or better or valued by others. And then we'll value either ourselves or that person better. And then often grass is greener because we don't give ourselves any grace or mercy or credit for the most part. So stop comparing yourself, give yourself some credit for being fucking amazing and for just simply getting out of bed, going and doing something with your day, or just making your bed, or allowing yourself to just rest in bed. Dude, life is fucking hard. And the fact that we're comparing ourselves to these people online every day is unrealistic because they're doing the same thing with you. I promise. If you're comparing yourself to all of your friends and shit, they're doing the exact same thing with you, unless they're in a very secure and mentally stable place. But yeah, I found the best way to stop comparing myself is simply just spending less time online, and also just not looking at my likes. I avoid my likes like the plague. I don't look. I will maybe check 5 days later, but I don't check my likes unless I'm doing a campaign or something for a brand and I need to get a lot of engagement on that post. Also try turning off your notifications for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, really any social media platform. That will really just help you not think about them so much, not think about all the activity that you're getting, because whenever you log on, you're gonna be oh cool, this is happening. It's gonna be kind of cool. You just show up and you walk inside of a door and there's a party going on, right? Instead of just seeing everyone throughout the day all the time and being overstimulated. That's kind of what having notifications on is like for me. I simply have my texts on my phone and my phone calls and my email, and that is it. Okay, and then B, it would be start assessing your motives and your goals, right? So my motive is my message. My message is to normalize mental health and talking about your feelings for men. Not a perfect catchphrase, but I do think boys should, be allowed to cry and be allowed to feel and be allowed to be sensitive online, because there's a very high male suicide rate in the United States, and I think a lot of that is just men not communicating or asking for help in their lives, as well as boys, of course, young men. It's so sad that people are taking their lives, and I think a lot of it comes from comparing yourself to people online or getting cyberbullied and just worrying about what other people think. So that's my message. My ideal work also keeps me going. So I don't think I've recently been posting work that is my ideal work. I want to post very conceptual and meaningful content, but I've just kind of been posting pretty portraits because that's what I've been shooting, just because I've been trying to just get out and shoot more, and it feels good. I love the photos, but it's not my strongest content, so that's a thing. And then also, my motive is my life outside of Instagram. I find that when I'm actually enjoying my life and everything, when I get to go online and post something or interact with my friends online, after focusing on my real life, I kind of have more to give to people online and actually be more fun to be around. If I'm on my phone all day, I'm just going to kind of get negative and just puke all my thoughts into Twitter and maybe be a kind of just not a very pleasant person to be around for people in my real life instead of on my phone. So yeah, if I could close this out, basically just try to focus on yourself. Try to focus on why you're doing what you're doing and not what other people are doing, because you're just going to lose that battle. You're not going to be happy. And try to stop comparing yourself and just give yourself credit. You deserve that. You deserve to give yourself credit. Hey guys, my camera died at the very end of that video, but I think I said everything I had to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any coping methods or thoughts on this subject, please let me know. And don't be afraid to reach out to me or to anyone, if you're kind of struggling with social media. I know it's not easy, but you've got this. I appreciate you, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.